Hey YouTube, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video. Today I've got my most carried for July 2016. This should be a lot of fun and gives me a chance to talk about a bunch of knives that I've been favoring about the last 4 or 5 weeks. Gives you guys a chance to see a bunch of different knives all in one video, so it's fun for all of us. Let's go ahead and get started with the Ontario Rat Model 1 in carbon fiber. Really cool knife, tons of fun. Everyone loves the Rat Model 1 and there's good reason for that. It's a phenomenal knife, and now to have it with carbon fiber and D2, I'm pretty excited to own this knife. And if they're still available, these D2 limited runs have been available at KnifeWorks. And so if you haven't got one, maybe go ahead and click over there and check it out. But the Rat 1 in general is a great knife, and so even greater because of the carbon fiber and D2. So there's that one. Let's keep going with some sort of utility blades that have been in my pocket largely out of just purpose. I needed something along those lines. Next up, CRKT Amicus. This is a new knife for this year from CRKT, and as far as I'm concerned, total win. The blade shape is great, the handle is very comfortable, it's tough as nails, extremely budget friendly. I use this, when I'm getting into things that I just don't want to do with a nicer knife that I think could break it, or if I could lose it or whatever. I'll use this because you can just beat on this thing and it just is fine. Okay, it's very smooth. I love the blade shape. I love the thicker blade stock. Just a great knife. Great beater knife. Okay, so there you go. CRKT Amicus. I've used that a lot because we've moved, and so there's been a lot of dirty, disgusting jobs that are not, they're gonna get crud in the pivot and dull the blade, and so this has worked well for that. Next up is another one from Necessity. This is, of course, the Spyderco Pacific Salt, and it's summer, so I've been going swimming, and a lot of times when we go swimming, we'll bike over to a neighbor's pool or bike down to the beach, and so you want something in your pocket, and this works really well because you're not going to, I just wear my bathing suit there, go for a swim, come out, and I don't take this in the water, but I put it with my stuff and drop it back in my wet pocket, and it's no big deal because this knife just can't rust. So it works out really well, and I've been carrying it a lot for those times when I'm going swimming with the family, which obviously you do a lot more of in the summer. Switching over to a couple more sort of utility type blades before we get to some of the higher end stuff. This is, of course, the Cold Steel Broken Skull and American Lawman. Both of these are the CTS XHP version, and this is obviously OD green and blue. These are just knives that I love to carry because of the fact that they're thin, they're small, they're lightweight, but you're not sacrificing anything in terms of utility. So you can carry these knives when you're going for a run or a bike ride, or you're wearing light shorts or linen pants or something where a lot of weight is not going to be very comfortable. And so you carry one of these and you get a very lightweight blade, but you don't have to sacrifice anything in terms of utility, toughness, durability, capability. Okay, so whether you need a longer blade for food prep or whatever, or something more along the lines of a harder use option, both great knives and both super lightweight. So these have been in my pocket a lot. Now, not yet reviewed, but coming up is the Cold Steel Talwar. Since we're looking at Cold Steel, I thought I'd throw this one in now. This is a little more expensive than the other ones we've seen, but not that much. And this is, of course, the limited edition blue, which I do love. I love the blue with the satin. I wish some of these other Cold Steels, especially the ones I just showed you, were available with a satin blade. But I was convinced to buy this knife because of this knife, the Valkyrie, which I'll show you in a little more detail in a second. But I've just been really impressed. It's comfortable, it cuts well, it does a lot of different cutting tasks exceptionally well. When you look at a knife like this, you go, yeah, it's kind of a weird shape, and I don't know if it's going to feel comfortable in hand. It is amazing. So very impressed. Expect a pretty positive review on that one. Before we get into some of the other knives, this is one that I have a hard time not carrying all the time. This is the Benchmade Crooked River. Honestly, this is probably my favorite ever Benchmade. It is big and bad and beautiful and utilitarian and well put together and different with attention to detail. Just great knife, and I absolutely have been super impressed by this knife. There hasn't been a whole lot of discussion about it, but there should be, because this is a phenomenal blade and I love carrying this thing. Let's see, what else have we got here? Finally getting into some of the higher end stuff. This is my Bryantine Friends TIE Fighter. Now this one is going, okay? This one, the blade grind is a little wonky, and at the price point that these come in at, that's not cool as far as I'm concerned. And I've emailed Dave and he agrees. So when they get blades in stock and they are able to start shipping these again, this one is going back and I'm getting a new one. I am going to change to the drop point blade and the black wash polished blade. But great knife. I've been using it, I've been carrying it, and it is a well done knife. I can't really, other than the blade grind being off, there's not much to complain about. This is exceptionally well done. And I'm looking forward to the stuff that they're going to come up with beyond this. Let's get into some nicer stuff now. I've got 3 more knives to show you. The Riyadh Knives Valkyrie. This knife, honestly, is... Okay, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. This is a knife I accepted as a trade. Not sure I was that into it, okay? Then I got it, and I got it in my hand, and I started carrying it, and I made some cuts with it, and realized that this is probably one of the nicest knives that I have seen. One of the best examples of what a high-end folder should be. Just perfect design and fit and finish and attention to detail. It's outstanding. Just a wildly good knife. And so, it's big, but it's also lightweight. It's comfortable in hand. It's useful. Just a lot to love about this knife. So this is one that I end up carrying an awful lot. Let's keep moving though. Another knife that I've been carrying, although probably not as much, I'm babying this knife a little bit. This is the Custom Knife Factory Tegral. Absolutely gorgeous knife, super amazing. Like, this is honestly just a piece of functional artwork, okay? It really is. Beautiful, hand-rubbed satin finish. Of course, it is integral, so this is all milled from one piece of titanium, which is absolutely amazing. Okay, gorgeous knife, absolutely impressive. Totally love this one. But as I said, I do baby this a little, so I usually only carry it, if I'm just going to church or doing something that I know I'm not going to be putting my knife through anything crazy. That's a knife where sometimes I'll carry a secondary knife with it. Finally, this one I've talked about quite a bit. This is the Real Steel S571, and this knife is great for those days where I'd like to carry the Tegral. I'm looking to carry something higher end and really cool and titanium, but I'm doing something that I probably don't want to do with some of those other knives. I'll carry this one and use this one because it's such a budget-friendly knife that you don't have to worry about it nearly as much as some of these others that are not quite as easy to replace. All right, so another great knife. There you go, guys. That's what's been in my pocket. I'd love to hear what you guys have been carrying. And if you're a collector like me, do you carry like one knife dedicated all the time, every day? Or do you kind of go through a rotation the way I do? Love to hear that below. And whichever option it is, let me know some of the knives that have been in your pocket the most. We will talk to you later.